What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. We're about to get out of the garage today, and we're going to take a trip over to Kozmic Motorsports. One, because I have a question that I want to ask about something about my next steps as far as the P0420 debacle is going to go. But I got something for that. But our main focus for today is to do a shop tour. They said, hey, man, MoJo, you want to come on by? Take a look at the shop, man, film some content. I said, heck yeah. I feel like that's a good opportunity, one, so you guys can try to see what goes on behind the scenes at the shop. And hopefully, you get some good information if you want to bring your car in to get it tuned or anything like that. So the plan is to get as much good information as I can, so which means this may be a pretty long video. Hopefully not, but I know how I am. I don't want to miss out on any details that I think are important, that I think you guys should know. I'm gonna try and be as entertaining as I can, even though I'm still under the weather. But we're gonna knock this thing out today, man. We're gonna get it done. I'm gonna try not to screw up too much, because I'm telling you, your boy is out of it right now. But too much babbling. Let's head over to the shop and let's get this video started, man.
Make it timeless. Never let it fade.
All right, so the plan of attack for today is, now that we're here, see if we can get through the whole process of what it takes to get dyno tuned and everything that you got to do for that process. And maybe we can knock out a few interviews, talk to a few people inside, and see what they do and how long they've been doing it. Just get you guys a little bit of knowledge on what's going on inside of Kozmic Motorsports. If you guys are interested in coming down, y'all get to see exactly who the type of people who you can get to deal with. So let's go ahead and let's get this thing going.
Hey, morning guys. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Hey Tony.
I'm here for my tuning.
Appointment.
My STI.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Let's get you checked in. We'll get all the photos taken of the car and get you put up on the dyno.
Cool. All right.
Let me take this call.
Excited.
Cosmic, can you please hold? What's going on, guys? It's Andrew from Kozmic Motorsports, and today we have Tony Luna's 2018 STI coming in for a dyno tune. He's all the way from Austin, Texas. We did a few mods to his car last time he was here. We got a Blausch Dominator 1.5 XTR, extreme turbo systems, top mount intercooler, 1000 seat Cobb 1050 injectors in it, fuel pump, and a couple other supporting mods from Cobb. First time he was on the dyno after the turbo install, the original clutch said no more, and it left the chat, so we installed a South Bend Stage 3 daily. It's now back after the break-in procedure, and we're going to slap them up on the dyno and complete the tuning. So right now we have Katie checking the car in. Every car that comes on property gets fully checked in, documented all the way around, bumper to bumper, interior, exterior wheels. Gonna pop the hood, take pictures of the engine bay. This way, if customer says, hey, I didn't see this scratch here, we don't point fingers, we don't take blame, we just go right back to the inspection photos from the vehicle check-in, and we look. If something was not there and it's here now, then we take full responsibility of the car, and just keeps everybody honest. So Katie's finishing that up now. After this is done, we'll get it pulled in. Usually we do a pre-dyno, which includes compression test, smoke test, boost leak check the whole vehicle over, but since this was already done, it's not needed for this process. We will do a full visual inspection, make sure nothing looks funny. He did put on 500 miles of clutch break-in miles, so nothing should happen, but we're still going to check, do our due diligence before we put it on the dyno, so we're not wasting anyone's time here. But yeah, this is Tony's second time coming to us for mods and tuning. So the first time he loved it, but just like anything else, it's not enough power, so he came back for a turbo upgrade and intercooler upgrade, and now we're going to turn up the boost.
Yeah, my name is Greg Baggett. I'm one of the technicians here at Kozmic Motorsports. My previous training was at Universal Technical Institute years and years ago. I started off working at a dealership through various Nissan dealerships. From there, I came here to Kozmic Motorsports. Pretty much, I was very meticulous and kind of got tired of doing all the normal warranty work at a dealership and wanted to get my hands into doing more custom work and not so much as taking stock parts on and off a car. That's not fun all the time. Here I do everything from basic maintenance, your oil changes, transmission services, driveline, stuff like that, suspension. But my specialty would be removal and installation of the Mitsubishi Evolution 10 dual clutch transmissions. Kozmic Motorsports has been specializing in those pretty much for the last decade. So we do a lot of that work here, and that would be more or less my day-to-day. I do work on Subarus as well, but primarily specialize in the SST transmissions. I started my, apprenticeship at the dealership in about 2008, and here we are today, 2025, and still working on cars. Every technician here has between 15 and 25 years of experience themselves. So whatever type of work we're doing, a lot of people have the peace of mind that no silly mistakes will be made, and you're in good hands with pretty much whatever you bring in for us to do.
All right, now we're about to get that car put on the dyno. It's pulling up right now.
So what I'm doing here is I'm about to put in the wideband sensor in the downpipe that we need to tune the car. This way we can monitor air-fuel ratio while in boost, because the factory ECU on these cars don't have that option. So what I'm going to do is put this fan on there, pull the downpipe down so I don't burn my beautiful little computer hands. While that downpipe is cooling off, I'm going to start strapping the car down front and rear, and I'll go over that. A big problem I see a lot of shops doing, and everybody can do it to each their own. Here, we don't care if the car makes 200 horsepower or if it makes 1,000 horsepower. Every car gets minimum 8 straps, 4 in the front, 4 in the rear. So we do 2 straights and 2 crosses. That way if a strap breaks, the car's not going to go to one side, where most shops that I see, or most dyno places I see, always utilize just 2. So it's 2 crosses. But if you have a strap that breaks and you have a cross, one's going to come off, and then the car's going to yank in the opposite direction. And the last thing you want is that to happen. So it's for my safety, the car's safety, the dyno's safety, and I don't have to give the customer bad news, something happened with their car. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get all 8 straps set up. I'm going to start in the rear, and then I go in the front. I start in the rear. I don't ratchet them down to mock Jesus just yet. We do them taut, front and rear, and then we kind of go back and forth. We'll give a couple ratchets in the front, go to the back, check the back, go back to the front, check the front. Then I'll go ahead and drive the car on the dyno, let everything adjust and settle. And then from there we do a final strap check to ensure that everything's happy, and then we get into making some power. So this process here is not needed on the FA20 WRXs and the FA24 models. They have an actual true wideband in them, and it could be monitored from the factory ECU, but the EJs do not. So to properly tune one of these cars, there has to be an air-fuel ratio sensor in front of the catalytic converter. So if someone's claiming that they're going to tune your car for you, EJ model car, and that air-fuel ratio sensor is not in front of the cat, they're playing a guessing game. It's not the proper way to tune them, and if they are, red flag. Find someone that does it this way. And this can be done on the factory downpipe. We do it all the time, where we take the downpipe off the car and we drill out and weld in a bung so you can input one on the OEM downpipe. I would say pretty much all of our cars here that come on the OEM downpipe do not have that done, and we have to remove the downpipe and do that for the customer. A lot of aftermarket downpipes have a bung already there, so we don't have to do that, like this one here. But you know, I'm sure watching your channel, you know that aftermarket J pipes and downpipes, you know, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. So
Yeah.
we go ahead and get me a better tool here to break this loose, because she's nice and tight, and I just don't have the muscles to do it with this little baby one. Had to call in the big guns.
Well, I see he flexing on him. Okay.
Hold on.
Well, you can tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Who you are, what you do here.
Well, I'm Onyx. I'm a technician here. I've been here since we opened up. So I've been here the longest, pretty much, with David, the owner. And I've been working on cars for a very long time. So I've been in the performance industry for about 20 something years.
Okay.
So I like renting on cars, so I just stick to renting on cars.
Well, ain't nothing like it.
Right, yeah. So that's what I do. So it hasn't changed. So you know, they say if you do something you love, then that means you haven't worked a day in your life.
That's it.
So I still haven't had a job. So you get it out. All right, Andrew's out. I'm still looking for a job.
Sensor in, or you just got it out?
I just got it out.
The sensor is behind you, if you could do that.
So I've been building cars for a long time, race cars. I had my own race cars too. I can work on pretty much anything. So I'm Puerto Rican, but I still can't work on a rotary. I've been in the United States for a long time. So I was born in Puerto Rico, came here when I was like 10, 11 years old, and haven't left. And that's just one of the things that can't work on a rotary. But it's all right. I like distance.
So now that we got the oxygen sensor put in, the air fuel ratio oxygen sensor in the downpipe in front of the cat, now I'm going to set it up so it can log and monitor through our data log while we're data logging through the top access port. So basically, if you ever seen a wideband, this is basically the air fuel ratio gauge. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug into our wideband. Got power box, it's plugged into power. This is just like having one installed in your car, but we're installing it externally and logging it externally. So when we pull up our data logs, we have a column for AFRs. like I said, if a tuner is going to tune your EJ Subaru without this, that's not who you want to have tune your car. Red flag, major red flag. And I'm going to turn it on here. See here, it's turning on, and then now it's heating up, and then it'll start to get a reading once we start the car. Now we're going to go ahead and get the customer's information put into the dyno computer here. So we're going to go ahead and get him put in the system here in the dyno computer. He already has a profile on our dyno computer because he's been here before, and we'll be able to do a nice comparison, basically a baseline from how the car was when we tuned it the first time on the stock turbo and stock intercooler. So I'm going to go ahead and get going, going to get the car warmed up, coolant temp, oil temp. While that's happening, we'll be logging the car for fuel trims, make sure, all the fuel trims are good, short term, long term, make sure the car's not running too rich, not too lean, it's correcting as it should, or not at all, because we get them dialed in perfectly. So, all right, next step. So what you guys saw there was I was calibrating the dyno RPM, so the dyno knows the RPM and speed that the car's in. So we start off doing pulls in third gear, and we'll do our final check in fourth, but there are different ways to calibrate the dyno. You can do a tack pickup, to where you put a tack pickup signal onto one of the coil pack wires. On these EJ cars, it's a little bit more difficult, because these are flat 4-cylinder engines. It's harder to get to those. If this was an Evo or an inline 4 engine where the coil packs are on top and it's easy to do, that's how we do it here. Or if it's an extremely high horsepower Subaru, then we'll make accommodations. This is a pretty fast Subaru, but it's not fast enough for me to justify doing that, and it's a little bit more work. So now what we're going to do is do some drivabilities. We're going to check fuel trims, make sure everything's happy. But usually what I do is I start off with doing the initial pull that I want to start off with, then we'll do drivability. So we've been idle logging this entire time. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a 2500 to 4500 in third gear in Sport Sharp. So go ahead and take off here. I always open the door to look at the roller so I have a sense of what's going on, because when you're on the dyno, you're not moving. So,
right.
I don't want to just dump the clutch. I like to make sure that, releasing the clutch nice and smoothly. This car has a brand new South Bend Stage 3 daily in it that was properly broken in, and that's why it's back, because the factory clutch did not survive. So I'm going to go ahead and start the test. We're doing a 2500 to 4500 RPM pull. I'm making sure that the RPM is matching. So right now I'm showing I'm right at about 1900 RPMs. And as you can see over there on the computer screen, that's exactly where we're at. So I know that the dyno is synced. All I have to do is, there's no starting or stopping the test manually. It will automatically know, because I have the dyno set to start the test at 2500 RPMs, ending at 45. So right now we're cruising right at about 2100. Checking fuel trims. Fuel trim is pretty solid for loading up the first map on the car. We tune a lot of these 1050 injector cars, so we have very good data to start with, and injector dynamics makes a great injector. So here we go. There we go, the test is completed. You can see now dyno brake kicked in. So I did not hit the brakes to slow the car down. The dyno actually puts on a dyno brake, and I have it set to slow the car down to 30 miles an hour. So once the car hits 30 miles an hour, the dyno brake kicks off, and then we get, now we're going to drive normal. Drive the car like the customer's going to drive the car. Make sure fuel trims are all within spec. You can see here, logging air fuel trims. These are all, it's all percentage based. We have just a couple of things I like to watch while I'm on the dyno. Boost, coolant temp, engine speed, intake temps, and then obviously our external wideband that we got going on. Then once I'm done, I'll pull up the actual data log and look at all the parameters I'm logging. Everybody thinks dyno tuning is just, doing full throttle pulls, but that's literally like one of the least important things when tuning a street car, because I tell people all the time, you drive your car at wide open throttle probably, 5% of its life. The rest, you're driving like a normal person, or at least you should be. So now that we did some cruising, I did the pull, and then from the pull, I basically just continued on through the gear. So now I'm going to just take off in first gear and just pretend like, taking off from a light and driving, to the next stoplight. And then from there, I'll have enough data to pull up our logs and compare the long-term logs from idle, cruise, as well as our pull that we did. Another thing that I'm paying attention to here is this is something that a lot of people do when they're e-tuning, or should be doing if they're e-tuning with the tuner, is you want to watch your air fuel trims. If you notice a high percentage in the tune, you want to spend a lot of time driving in that range so your tuner can look at that data and fix and correct that. So I'm looking for spots in the tune that I see have, higher than normal or higher than what I like for fuel trims. And what I do is I like watching AF1 trims total, and that's a combination of your learning and correction in one. So here that's negative, bouncing from -3 to, +3, but really that's correction and learning. So, it balances itself out, and it's, just about nothing. So these trims are looking really good. I'm cruising in a spot you usually should not drive your car in, but you never know. Currently in fourth gear at 1600 RPMs. Yeah. That's not really ideal for driving, but you will drive like that eventually, and you want to make sure that when you do, the air fuel trims are where they should be. I'm a kind of guy that I don't lug these cars. I really tell people all the time to cruise these cars at least 2500 RPMs or higher, and never to do a wide open throttle pull below 2500 RPMs. It's just unnecessary load and stress on these engines. Right now I'm fifth gear, cruising at like 35 miles an hour, but some people drive this way. I don't really know how this customer drives, but once the tune's done and we go over everything, I always go over, the driving styles that, you should have with these, small displacement turbo engines, to just keep them happy. Since I already did that highway driving and that, 6th gear, 80, 90 miles an hour, now I'm focusing on the, 6th gear, low load, mile per hours. And, as I expected, the trims were a little bit out of place there, but that's going to get corrected here on this next revision that we do. so what I'm doing here is I'm going to check, we made some power, pretty happy with the power it's making for the setup. I'm going to go ahead and compare what this car made previously on the stock turbo, stock intercooler. So went ahead and have a graph saved here. I'm going to go ahead and show baseline. So here it is from before. Same thing. I got here 6,300. So what we have here is blue is a stock turbo, and black is Dom 1.5 XTR with the ETS top mount and on speed density. So the car previously made 279 horsepower on the stock turbo and 323 foot-pounds of torque, and we're now making 342 horsepower and 331 foot-pounds of torque. So we didn't really make too much more torque, but we're limited on torque just due to the stock engine, but we were able to definitely make a nice amount more horsepower. So some nice gains. I'm going to talk with the customer, see if he's happy here. I'm happy here. I think he's going to be. So we're going to go ahead and chat with the customer, let him know where we're at, and see if he wants to push the stock motor a little bit more. I'm going to advise that we don't. All right, so we finished up with Tony's 2018 STI. Came here about 6 months ago wanting for more power. Fortunately, he didn't leave with the power he wanted the first time, and that was only because he came here with the improper mods on the car. He took the car to another shop. They just slapped on an intake, a downpipe, and tuned it on the complete stock fuel system. When he came to us, we told him, hey, you need injectors and you need a fuel pump. He was under the impression he was going to make more horsepower because he was adding fuel, when really all we were doing was getting the car tuned safely. When you do those modifications without a fuel system upgrade, you're maxing the stock fuel system out completely, which is not safe, because all it's going to take is a cold day, and the car with an intake and a downpipe on these 15 plus STIs, the fuel system with the tune is already, the injector duty cycle is already in the high 90s, which is essentially maxed out. All it's going to take is for a cold day with dense weather, car's going to want to boost more. Well, when it boosts more, it's going to need more fuel, but it's hard to ask for more fuel when you're already maxed out from the get-go. So what happens? Car's going to run lean. When it came in that first time, we pulled the plugs for the pre-dyno, and there was pure signs of lean spark plugs, meaning he was running this car lean. They also had no wideband installed in the car, which is something I was talking about earlier. The way I knew that there wasn't a wideband installed when they tuned the car was because there was no bung for the wideband. So there's no way that they were monitoring air-fuel ratio before that cat, which is crazy. I don't know who the shop is. So when he came here, which he came here because of Cobb Tuning themselves recommended, hey, go check out Kozmic. It's a little bit of a drive from us, but it'll be worth it. We'll be in good hands. Well, since then, he's came back for a turbo upgrade. Turbo upgrade led to him having to do a clutch upgrade, and now he's back, final tune, fuel system safe, bigger turbo, bigger intercooler, set up for speed density. Now he's making 65 more horsepower than what he left with on our previous tune, and now he's going to enjoy the car. Like I said, keywords safe. Could the car make more power with this setup right now? Absolutely. Are we going to? No. Stock engine, we want him to enjoy it. We want it to last as long as it possibly can. He'll be back for a built engine when he's ready to turn this thing up, and maybe we could talk him into flex fuel, because everyone needs some go-go juice in their life. But yeah, thanks for stopping by the shop today. And
I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Yeah, so there's more. We got some cool projects in the works, and I'll let you know when you can come by and film some more stuff. Maybe something that makes like 2 to 3 times the horsepower of this, and
I'd love to see that.
Make some noise, but next time you're going to need some earplugs, and I'll have those for you. But, all right, guys, thanks for stopping by, checking out the shop, and you can find us on Instagram at Kozmic MS. You can find us on Facebook, Kozmic Motorsports, or head over to our website at www.cosmicmotorsports.com. All right, man. Thank you.
All right, y'all. So, man, I really do hope that y'all did enjoy that trip and that tour at Kozmic Motorsports, man. Got to introduce ourselves to a few people. Well, get them to introduce themselves to us, dude. Did a couple of interviews, man. The tuning process, a lot of good information, a lot of good details and things that that happens during the tuning process. I know everybody, like Andrew said, everybody think it's just whap, whap, and then bam, there you go. No. It's a little bit more to it than that. It's a lot of stuff that happens in the background, but the amount of detail that they put into what they do, man, is the reason why, of course, I do business with them and why I mess with them, because them guys they pretty they straight up with you, man. They tell you what it is. So I felt like it'd be some good information for you guys to, for us to go and talk to them, visit them, see the shop. There's a couple things in there that was G14 classified, but we probably gonna get to take a look at that at some point, just not yet. But I really appreciate, Kozmic Motorsports allowing us the opportunity to go in there and check out their operation, see what they got going on. Everybody that we met there, man, all them fellas it's just cool in there, man. But if y'all like that sort of stuff that we did, man, that like this sort of content, and y'all want to do some more stuff just like that, then we can. Just let me know in the comments and all of that. And man, we can of course, we got an invite to come out to check out some more stuff, so I think that's gonna be pretty interesting to throw that in the mix every once in a while. But cool. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I did. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, hit all so you get notified whenever I put out a video. And until that next video, fam, peace.